Hello and thank you for joining us on the Tuesday edition of Journalist Hangout. I'm Ayodele Uzubakun. Today on the program, federal government reintroduces COVID-19 restrictions, imposes curfew, shut bars, recreational centers, and limits public gatherings. And later on the show, bandits break into Castina Mosque, abduct 40 worshippers as abductors of Greenfield University students make fresh demands from their parents. I'll be hanging out with Babajide Kolade Otitoju and Dotun Oladapo. So if you're ready, let the hangout start now. Thank you for staying with us. I have Dotun Oladipo, not Oladapo, from the Eagle Online. Dotun, welcome.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Like a banished monster, just when we thought we have left the hook by COVID-19 pandemic, it appears we are still not out of the cold. The federal government reintroduced COVID-19 restrictions, such as 12 to 4 a.m. curfew, restriction of number of people at gathering to 50, shutting of bars and recreational centers, use of face masks, and return to virtual meetings. The Presidential Steering Committee on COVID-19 said the decision is due to the rapid spread of the new strain of the virus from the upcoming Salah celebration. Gentlemen, I thought we were done with COVID-19, not knowing that, but from the reports coming from India in the last 2 weeks, I have been monitoring it, and it has been so devastating the way the new strain of COVID-19 has been dealing with them in that particular country. So if it's happening out there, we need to also take caution to make sure that we don't allow that strain to come into Nigeria. Jide?
Yes, I think there are countries of the world that can actually teach other countries a lot about pandemic management. There was a time when the Canadians thought that, look, we do not have a problem. We've dealt with COVID-19. COVID-19 is not an issue to us. And to some Nigerians who are based there, they felt themselves privileged when they compared themselves to the UK that have had 2 lockdowns and a very brutal second strain of the virus. Yes. So the lesson is to be patient, manage the pandemic effectively. Don't be in a rush to open up, because the UK opened up at some point and they had their regrets. We've seen countries that opened up and quickly rushed back to do a fresh lockdown. Look at India. India could not have expected what it is going through now. More than 400,000 recorded cases daily since 30th of April. Consistently, more than 300,000 recorded cases. And already now, more than 153,000 persons have died. Let me see the exact figure. Yes. Okay. At least 153 people die every hour right now in India. 153 per hour. Whichever way you look at it, it is extremely bad in India at this time. And 251,323 deaths have been recorded. 251,000.
It has gone up to 253,252 now, as we speak.
That's on the average. You see now, average of at least 153 people die every hour. They've recorded 23 million plus cases.
Yeah.
So it's already shaping up to be the worst country affected by this, because for the Americans, it's going down consistently. More than 1/3 of the people already have been vaccinated. So it's helping their cause in the US. The thing is coming down. It's no longer like what we used to have when so many people were just dying and dying. So now in the US, in the past week, 4,756 persons died in the US in the past week. When you compare it to what they were going through at the peak of it, this is just like, is it the same US? Mm-hmm. So that will tell you the gains that you can derive from managing the pandemic effectively. That's what we have seen with the Americans. They faced the worst. Now they have to consistently manage it effectively. And that is the message that I think that the authorities are trying to drive home. Somebody was telling me, why now, Bajide, we heard that there is a new lockdown. No, there is no fresh lockdown. It is just a reinforcement of the restrictions that had always been there.
12 to 4.
Mr. President has not lifted the curfew. From 12 o'clock, the curfew had been there. That's why, for example, you can't do the Holy Ghost service at Redemption Camp, for example, because the Holy Ghost service, if you do it, you will breach the curfew. Because people now, such a large number of people, they have to stay overnight. They've already breached the curfew. You are supposed to...
the regular night vigils?
No, you stay in your house. Anything from 12 o'clock, you stay in your house. If you get arrested, that will be because you broke the curfew. So the restrictions have been there. The issue of, level 12 down, level 1 to 12, stay at home, work at home, it had always been there. And nobody announced that bars should reopen.
Or nightclubs?
No, they didn't say they should reopen. What the government said at a point was that, states can begin to ease things based on how things are in their respective states. But it's not as if they gave a directive that we can go back to our normal lives. No. I don't think the way it is now, the fear of COVID-19 is the beginning of wisdom for everyone. Any country that behaves like, look, this thing is gone forever, they regret it.
Doctor, it's as if along the line we've relaxed all those non-pharmaceutical intervention that's have been canvassed by the governments. We're putting our guards, as in going to church, doing all sorts of things, and before you see people with their face masks 24/7, but it's not like a common feature everywhere now. And even if you want to see some people with their face mask, you just see them, it's under their nose, under their chin mask. It's like another way of fashion.
Yeah, it's like BKO said, it's unfortunate that we got to the point where we felt all was well. Now, nothing is new, because some people are saying fresh lockdown.
No.
I think it was the language used by the incident commander of the Presidential Steering Committee, Mukhtar Mohammed, that caused all of this. There is nothing fresh. It's been there.
Continuation of what?
It's just that we've decided in some cases. In Lagos, between 12 and 4, you can hardly find people outside. It's still in force, because I think, I might be wrong, the Lagos State Commissioner of Police, Akim Odumosu, has been doing a good job. Although we've not been hearing of massive arrests, but it's always been there. But one of the issues people are missing is what BKO discussed now, the issue with India. How does it affect us? Movement of people. One of the issues the chairman of the PSC mentioned yesterday was that foreigners coming into the country were escaping from our quarantine centers. They were leaving without observing the mandatory 7 days of staying alone once you come into the country.
To bring the new strain.
Only one. And the other country that we're also watching out for, which is like us, in terms of the number of Nigerians who are there, is South Africa, where you have the new strain. If you go through the records, that strain, according to available information, is the one driving the second wave of COVID-19 in South Africa. It spreads faster than other variants. It is able to attach more easily to human cells. And then, when you look at how it has gone into other countries, you'll be amazed. Only 2 persons went into the UK, and that variant is spreading. It's also in Canada. It's in 23 African countries as we speak, and 3 of our neighbors have it: Ghana, Togo, Cameroon.
So in no time.
So if we miss it at any point, and that strain comes in, what we have done with the first batch of vaccines that we got was to say people above 18 take the vaccine. This variant affects more of younger people. So it means we are in fresh trouble. That's the meaning.
And it's more deadly.
More deadly. It kills faster. So, and going by what an Oxford immunologist, John Bell, told the Telegraph, all the vaccines that have been discovered now appear not to work for it.
Yes. And because those strains, some of the characteristics of the new strain were not known
when
at the time
the vaccines
when
were developed.
Yes.
So it means another work has to be done. It could take another 6 months. So what we need to understand is that we need to stop it. Now, let me quickly answer. The fear about the Salah is very real. The last 10 days, based on my understanding of religion, is for prayer, congregational prayer. You have the Tahajjud, you have the Laylat Qadri, so many of them like that, where you have to pray together. And then you have the major one, which is praying on the day of, the day after the end of the fast, where they go to the Eid. It will take only one person to bring that strain in, and that will be it for the whole of the congregation there and for the country. So that is why it is important. People are saying, why? The numbers are going down. Yes, they are going down.
And don't forget
in
that
Nigeria.
some people are they've even gone for lesser Hajj.
Some are even coming into the country
from all over the world. We assemble.
Some are even coming into the country to celebrate the end of Ramadan from some of these countries.
Yes.
South Africa, the UK, where as at the last count, close to 1,000 people already have this new variant. So we should realize that it goes beyond us recording very low figure. We need to be proactive. Otherwise, if we go back, we are still going to.
No, and all the gains that we made in the past will be eroded. I think they are just being proactive. And we have to give them credit for being proactive instead of waiting for it. You know, even before the wash night prayers that we normally do, they had to move to stop it. So this one too is timely, coming close to the end of the fasting season, so that people will know that, look, this is not the time to congregate in very large numbers. Should have
been done since last week, before the 10 days countdown.
I think they should have done it earlier.
Last week.
In between, Babajide, they brought 3.9 million AstraZeneca. They brought the vaccination, and as at the last count, we've done just a little bit over 1 million. But our people are very slow, as in slow in the sense of embracing this thing, because by the time they told us that they were bringing 3.9 million, I thought in 2-3 days they would have exhausted it. But they've just done a little bit over 1 million now. Then we have some religious leaders that they've said it categorically. They've made a categorical statement that their members should not be used as guinea pig, and they're not interested in that vaccination.
Well, that is the problem of those religious leaders. I can't be under a pastor, for example, who will tell me that I should not take the vaccine. If I made up my mind to take it, I won't listen to a pastor. I'm not that impressionable that I want a pastor to like what I'm saying or my attitude. No. I'm just my own person. That's why Thomas Paine said, if I must go out of church, Ralph Waldo Emerson said, if I must go out of church, every time I hear a false sentiment, I will never stay there for 1 minute. So these are human beings like us. They have their own biases. We have Muslim clerics too. There are videos that I've seen where Muslim cleric, I think in Kano, was saying nobody should go and know that there was no coronavirus. It was even saying there was no coronavirus and all that. People have had all kinds of things. But the point that I'm making is, pastors, as people went to school, as adults, we have our life. A pastor does not control your life. He has his own life. Everyone on the final day will face his maker. Your pastor will not stand behind you as your advocate, as your lawyer with a son prefix to his name. You bear the consequences of your actions. If you fail to take a vaccine when you had opportunities to take it and you died in the process, you are the one who has lost. Remember the case of a pastor in Cameroon who said that the vaccine never existed. Eventually, he claimed his life. He said the coronavirus never existed. It eventually claimed his life. The president of Tanzania too never believed in it. That was what took his life. So these things, people can say what they like. As I always say, when you need a miracle, you will believe in one. When a person falls sick, because a lot of the big people, rich people, even our pastors, don't want to die, especially if they are enjoying the good life. When you suddenly discover that this is the ailment that you suffer, you are the one who will tell them that, take me to that place in Yaba where they are treating people, because you are not prepared to die. So this is the thing. Let pastors say what they like. Let those Muslim clerics say what they like. But our people should not be misled. Our people should continue to believe that this thing exists, and they should protect themselves against it.
I have Olushola.
Yes, thank you. Good afternoon. I'm Olushola from Elisha State.
Okay, Elisha.
Yes. Now, honestly, Babajide, good afternoon, sir, and the other man in the house with you.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, we found with ourselves, religion is honestly playing a very vital role in our society today. But what is so important is we have advised our religious leaders to be as well proactive, even in their statements and their behavior to their followers, so that we will not plunge this nation into crisis. Now, there's one of the clergymen as well that even up to last Monday was still advising the members not to take that vaccine. And this is detrimental to our health as a country. But I will appreciate it if our religious leaders as well will play along with our political leaders, so that at least we can have a better society. For me, what the federal government has just done in bringing back this lockdown on our country is very good and essential. Why? Because it will now promote our health condition and will be able to have a better society for ourselves. Your people are doing a very great work. God bless you.
Thank you, Olushola. Thank you for
so
your
much.
contribution all the way from Elisha. Because we know the influence of religion, and we know that these people, they are opinion holders, and people that listen to them, they are adherent, and
Yes, I think now there was something that was done in Lagos State less than about a year ago, where you had the likes of Pastor Kadija Radibui speaking to people on, I think it was tax payments and the rest. This is the time for us to go back to that era and bring people who have voices, the conscience of the nation, to begin to talk. We've said it here. The National Orientation Agency might be doing its best. But in this country, we know that people believe more in individuals than in government agencies. A research has even confirmed that it's worldwide. The belief in government is lower than individuals and in private establishments. So we should begin to bring out people who have the voices, who have the names.
Yes. And victims.
And victims also. People who have survived.
Survivors.
The survivors. To begin to talk to us again.
I think Ali, the comedian.
The Ali Babas of this world.
How he spoke with passion, even swearing at people who are saying that it does not exist.
Exactly. So we should
Somebody who
begin to
needed oxygen to survive. You now come and tell him that there is no COVID.
There is no COVID.
And he needed oxygen to survive. This particular strain, it's just so dangerous that it can take one's life within a short time.
No,
so many big people have died. Yeah, so many people have died that that it was not announced. But the family knows that this was what killed them. Exactly. You know? And you find some people, to those who chose not to believe, they will say, oh, anytime someone dies now, it is COVID. When people die of motor accident, do they tell you that it's COVID? They don't tell you that it's COVID.
They don't tell you that.
You are just a desire to behave like Nicodemus on your part. So you don't want to believe what is real.
Yeah. So the PSC should work now. Now is the time. Don't
look at somebody gasping for life.
Exactly. Don't make it look like it's all about talking to the press. You need much more than that. You need to put a lot more into publicity.
Yeah, I think that's why I'm saying that I commend them. They've taken the right decision to come out quickly at this time. Look at that event center that pushed the Lagos State government to quickly to lock the place up. I think in Surulere or so. See the crowd. Even in normal times, you don't expect people to jam a hall like that. As if it was the day of rapture, and they said everybody, if you want to be raptured, just come into this hall. A man's funeral. It was funeral that they went for. The whole place filled up everywhere. The gallery filled up everywhere. In the season of COVID, government had to move in quickly. Now we need to also continue to take those measures, because our people are beginning to think that it no longer exists, but it still exists. It has pleased God to really protect us in our country, because what others are going through, we are not going through it.
It is simply because people are looking in only one direction, the figure. They are not looking at the fact that one man can come into this country from the UK, from South Africa, from India. Only one man.
Yes.
Just like it happened. How did we get into COVID? One man came in from Italy. Only one man.
Yes.
And that was just it.
That contaminated the system.
That was just it.
Air travel, especially, is the worst.
The bus in which that man rode from Lagos to Ewekoro, I had a relative in it. He didn't get it at the end of the day, but we knew that we were in panic mode.
And it's always difficult for us to even trace these people.
Very difficult.
Very difficult to trace.
When you are traveling now, they will say, make sure you maintain your seat number. That's within Nigeria. A lot of people are not even traceable.
No, they are not.
With the NI,
and they will not even show up.
And they won't even
cooperate. They won't cooperate because they will think that you are going to take them into quarantine. So they will run away. That's the problem.
So best bet is prevention. Just to be proactive.
We don't have the health facilities to solve this problem.
We're grateful so far.
Yes.
We've never run into
America with all the health facilities at their disposal. See the way it messed them up as a country. See the way it messed France up, messed Spain up, even Germany. So those are great countries.
What about South Africa? It's still another place where the health facilities is good.
All right, we'll take this break. When we come back, we'll talk more. Still journalist Hangout. Please stay with us. Welcome back. It's your favorite news and current affairs program on TVC, the best station. And I have Dotun still with me and Babajide Kolade Otitoju still in the house. In what could be termed as a sad reminder of the urgency of our hands, bandits who abducted some students of Greenfield University, Kaduna, have reached out to their parents to make fresh demands after demanding 100 million naira and 10 motorcycles, or the remaining 17 students will be killed last week. The mastermind of the attack, Sani Idris Jaringo Aka Baleri, reached out to the parents individually on Monday and demanded 10 million naira each from them. In the face of this, another set of bandits attacked worshippers at a mosque in Jibia, Katsina State, and kidnapped 40 of them. We had police rescued 30 of them after a hot pursuit, leaving 10 in captivity. Meanwhile, troops of the Nigerian army recently staged a daring attack on the hideouts of some bandits and killed scores of them. Let's share the video with you.
I don't know why this thing just for the what you go to the front here? What you the back here?
Allah sarki abokina. Allah ya kara mana nasara a bana.
Mun tashi nan kawo a wuce dambuwa ga.
Allah ya kara mana nasara. Mun kashe kawai. Samu lokaci abokina zo mana Allah. Insha Allah ba shi wanda ji ciwo. In Allah ya yarda. Yan Najeriya tana mana addu'a ga Aliyu. Yan Najeriya na mana addu'a, iyayen mu na mana addu'a, ba abin da zai same mu insha Allah. In Allah ya yarda. Mana addu'a sun ci Allah da mu lafiya. Bama kish.
Guys, they just say they get mine. They are papa. Everywhere, don't put my door. Everywhere is lost. Everywhere catch fire. Everywhere wuta. Yes, I tell you. Everywhere wuta. Soldier can never run for bandits. For Nigeria, na lie. It's a lie. Nigeria police Nigeria, na lie. Don't worry. Okay, now go never sniper. They let work. I swear to God, we can never run for them. Allah, Baba God, they say they run. This fasting period, and they will finish.
This looks like the action we've been craving for. Right?
Yes,
we want this thing. This would like boost the morale of other soldiers and even Nigerians, so that we can support Nigerian army the more. Want to see things like this, and that there's a movement.
This is what we want to see. I think this must have happened in the northeast, because you could see civilian JTF boys there, and it was a big
with
operation.
The military guys.
Anytime this multi-barrel rocket system is deployed, you know that it's a big operation, because of its range and its capacity to kill. It kills anything within a 400-meter, 600-meter radius. And it has a range of about 10 miles.
Unannounced, it will just come.
10 kilometers. So even if it was announced and you knew that they had closed in on you, there's no escape. It kills men and equipment. That's the way it is. It's a fantastic artillery weapon of the army. The only thing is that it is extremely expensive to deploy, expensive to maintain. So our capacity to use it will most likely be hampered by cost. It was General Minima that brought it. Yes. At that time, at the time that we bought it, former ADC to the late President Yaradua, Mustafa Onojefe, was the army head of logistics when they brought this thing from Ukraine. It's a fantastic offensive weapon, artillery weapon of the Nigerian army, and There was a time that Boko Haram captured it. And look, if you have it, with it you can destroy. You don't even need, because it fires 40 rounds a minute. You don't even need, if you have it, you can destroy the whole of Ketu. So within minutes, Ketu is gone. You know? So we hope that we can acquire more of this.
They're also using RPG.
That's RPG. You know, it's not as if we don't have it. It's meant to kill armored tanks. So we are not, when we are dealing with these boys, it is better we use it, because when they have it, they are not interested in using it on armored tanks. They are using it on human beings. And when you see Chadian soldiers, they go around with RPG. If you see 30 Chadian soldiers inside the truck, at least 15 of them will have the RPG. That's why Boko Haram fears them a lot. So we need to use it as well. You can see that guy positioning it, you know, for you, so that the fire, it will really consume those guys in their location. This is how.
And anything the thing meets, just
you can see that. You see the smoke. See the smoke from afar. If you look at it closely, you see the smoke. They are convinced. After this now, they can feel the fire. You see, when you have the right weapons to fight with, you'll be excited. You feel like fighting,
because the feedback from the enemy.
They are looking. They don't need the Air Force to do a kind of reconnaissance. They can feel that place has been set ablaze. They can see smoke behind them. They can see smoke rising. They know that they've destroyed the camp. They know that those boys are gone. And there are corpses. They brought out corpses. Those that we can't show them on air. But this is a big deployment. This is a big deployment. When the Chief of Army Staff says, go and take that place for me, this is the kind of offensive capability that we want to see on display. And I've said many Nigerians will have confidence that this is a war that we are going to win when they see demonstrations like this. When they see us in action like this.
I'm happy. It's a kind of...
Who will not be happy when they see things like this? Who will not be happy? You can see that that's Operation Lafayette Adole's vehicle. So it's actually the soldier was talking about bandits, but those are Boko Haram fighters that they have engaged, because you see the logo of Operation Lafayette Adole on that gun truck. You know?
Well, it's exciting seeing this. You know, we've always been talking here about deploying the right equipment for the battles. What has happened, in my own view, is that we've always tried to treat the Boko Haram terrorists and the bandits like human beings. They have not treated us that way. Because the reports
we have
always said, yes, is that the RPG, which is meant to bring down aircraft and other things, are fired at human beings. So it means you want to tear the person completely into pieces. There is not, because you can't fire one shot into a, so I mean, it's just not, you won't see the person again. That's the meaning. No, so that's what they've been using in their own battle, and that's why there has been this complaint that, see, we are not getting the right equipment to fight, which is completely true. But imagine what would have happened, the kind of damage that would have been done behind the scene with this. That's where we are getting to. But should we? Yes, we will. That's what is going to happen. If they are not going to listen to what the government is saying.
They are not even human beings.
They
are not going to even have pity on those that they are fighting, then the war should be taken to them that way. It should be.
I have Wale from Ikorodu. Wale is a regular caller.
Oh, good evening, Ayo.
Good evening, Wale.
Good evening, my encyclopedia.
I agree to you, sir.
Thank you.
Thanks.
For your interactive analysis.
Thanks.
For the first time, I am proud of Nigerian Army, and I'm a proud Nigerian for what I've watched this evening. The exploits of the Nigerian Army. We only need to continue to pray for them and to appeal to the federal military government. So please give them all the necessary tools they require for this fight. Because it is not, I was initially discouraged that how can a ragtag army or Boko Haram be troubling Nigeria? What about when all these kindergarten West African countries decide to attack us? What will happen?
Thank you, Wale.
But unfortunately, the thinking has always been that we are fighting our own people. It wasn't this difficult for Nigeria in Liberia and Sierra Leone. It wasn't, because the enemies were there. They were not coming within the people. Even in some instances, when they surrounded themselves with civilians, it was just collateral damage. But here, you could hear when the battle first began, you are killing our people. You are killing our people. That's the song, yeah.
Some people are saying that.
So it made it difficult.
At the initial stage.
At a time when we can see smoke.
Yes, it
made it very difficult.
And that was the best time to before they became strong.
Yes. It was the best time. Because if you tell me that there are bad men in my house, and I take them in because they won't let me leave, eventually they are going to kill me. So why are you waiting?
They've shown us.
Why are you waiting? They are not going to spare them. Once they enter into a village and they are done with whatever they want to do, they slaughter the people and leave.
See, we have not shown enough willpower to win this war. Especially bandits. Boko Haram, yes, we should leave them with the army. But in my view, these bandits, they do not have the capability that Boko Haram has. They do not. They are trying to acquire it. And you can see in Shiroro, they too, they are going after army bases in Shiroro now. Now, because those ones are Boko Haram. Even the guy that was arrested, Yellow Damangoro, the bandit that was arrested, he said it, that he even mentioned the name of the leader of the Boko Haram in Shiroro. He called him Malam Sadiku. That's Sugabam Boko Haram. That's how he described him. So if we see bandits taking on the army in the Shiroro area, they are likely to be those Boko Haram guys who have relocated, some who have relocated to that place. But these ones do not have the capacity that Boko Haram has. Boko Haram dislodges super camps. That one is not this thing. Yes, they have weapons, and they have some hired fighters who have been toughened up by fighting in Chad for decades. People from Mali, mercenaries. So those are different. But bandits, we should be able to deal decisively with bandits.
We can safely call them ragtag bandits.
If things go on this way, honestly, there will be serious food security, because in the places where we expect farmers to come up with bountiful harvest and all that, the areas that we depend on for our food, those are the areas where they are causing so much problem for people. So you can go to Shinkafi, some of these places in Zamfara where we have a lot of them, mobilize the army like in this way. I expect governors to come together, especially governors of these troubled states, to finance the military operation. They should get the president, talk to the president, tell the president that they will not leave his office unless he gives the directive for a full-scale military operation against these good-for-nothing bandits. Then let them provide what the army needs.
Compliments them.
Yes, provide what the army needs. Let them go there. This multi-barrel launch system, honestly, if they take this artillery weapon to Zamfara and they focus it on down Sadao Forest, honestly, where they have a lot of bandits, or go to Jibia where they are also misbehaving.
Do you have complement of the air power?
with that, it is leather capabilities. Honestly, these boys will become history. But we are not. We are not. Even America fears this kind of artillery weapon. During the Gulf War, they were targeting Saddam's mobile rocket launchers. Because you know the idea of a rocket launcher, you can use it here, move away from that point before the Air Force comes. You've run away. So they were targeting those mobile rocket launchers because they know the damage that they can cause.
The bandits from Greenfield University that abducted those students, we still have 17 of them in captivity, and they've reached out to the parents to make fresh demands after the 100 million naira and the 10 motorcycles that they are asking for. The mastermind now, this certain Sani Idris Jalingo, aka Valerie, has reached out to the parents again, saying that he needs 10 million naira each. And, you know, another set, 10 million naira for 17 students.
Certainly the demand won't stop. Even if this is provided...
It has come down from 800.
For 800 million. Even if this is provided and this set of students are released, they are going to go for more. Because it is all about money. Like we've said, what we need to do now is to stop this. It's insane.
It's a lasting solution.
It's insane.
Go for the jugular.
That students can't even stay on campus and study. It's all, before we used to say they were targeting schools in so-called rural areas where there wasn't so much. Now they are coming into town. They are emboldened because over time, nothing has happened. Nothing has been done to them. They've gotten away with so much atrocity. So it is better to stop this. In as much as I will say we also need to be extremely careful. Once we're able to get some of these students out now, it is better to cough off their capacity to attack. It is better. Because once we still allow them again, it's the same process that we'll be going through, front and back. Pick students, pay money, pick students, pay money, release them, you know. And this isn't, it's even not even good for the image of the country. The way we are, it's not at all. So we need to focus on how do we stop this rubbish.
Jerry, the one that happened in...
One of the reasons why I actually back the Kaduna State Governor in not paying ransom is this.
Because they will keep coming.
Because they will keep coming.
But the way I'm excited in a way is from 800 million, it has come down now to 10 million per head.
I will tell you that I'm also excited about what happened in Katsina. Before, it has just been
the rescue.
The rescue, yeah.
You know, story Fantastic. Of abduction, no resistance, nothing whatsoever. Now, our people are standing up now.
Yeah, the police did a good job of rescuing those people. That's the story we had. We just hope that that is exactly what happened, you know. So we just need to continue to motivate the police to do battle against these guys. I believe that if the police are effectively catered for, if they have their APCs, for example, they can go to war with APCs. They can go to war with APCs. With these guys, bandits will be left to the police to handle, while Boko Haram, with their capacity and their
just provide enough equipment.
Yes, they can. The army can deal decisively with Boko Haram. They also need equipment. We have reached the point now. We keep saying it that equipment is an issue. Some people think no, that is not an issue. It is a big issue.
It's a big issue.
We are approaching the stage now that pushed General Burate to set up what he called the Nigerian Army super
camps. Yeah.
The rate at which they are dislodging super camps and even the camps that are not super is frightening. It's frightening. a lot of them we don't even talk about. I hear about some attacks on the military bases. Sometimes I just decide to just ignore it. Not that one does not have the information. You just tell yourself, how many times are you going to talk about it? You know? How many times are you going to talk about it?
But what we should today is sharing.
You know, what we need to do as a country is provide them with the right equipment, offensive equipment. If they have enough patrol vehicles, enough gun trucks, enough armored personnel carrier, enough of everything that they need, they can take the battle to the enemy.
Yes, like what they did.
One of the reasons we are unable to do that is the fact that we are limited. You know,
and
within the army, they know that equipment is an issue, because even the equipment casualties that we are suffering as a result of Boko Haram attacks will definitely push us to the point that we need to acquire more. Every time Boko Haram overruns a camp, they steal the equipment there. They still overrun a military base in Damboa some days back, and they looted the weapons there. You know?
Of course,
that is the goal. That is the goal. When they go to attack a military base, they are not doing that to show that they are strong. It is the weapon that they want to steal. When they went to Minok, it was the weapon that they wanted to steal. And they succeeded in stealing the weapons. I'm even wondering how, could it be that it's even the same flatbed trucks that deliver those weapons that they used to drive it to their own? Because I saw flatbed trucks that brought the MRAPs, and they stole MRAPs. I mean,
how were they able to escape with MRAPs?
Of course. they did their work well.
That's a long story. That's a long story.
They did their work well.
No, the thing is,
to get your
you see, the thing is, there are some limitations that people don't see. When they say, oh, how come the Air Force didn't come in? It is not practicable for the Air Force to get involved in every fighting by the foot soldiers. Sometimes weather, the Sahelian weather is a limitation. When the Sahelian weather will not let you go airborne to try to support. It happened even when we were trying to reclaim Baga from them. They couldn't, the weather was bad for this. So those boys too, so those boys too, sometimes maybe they observe that under this kind of weather, if we launch a ground attack, the Air Force will not be able to help.
All right, Garba is calling us from Makurdi, Bandits.
Good evening, Ayo. Good evening to Babajide and the other guys.
Good evening, Garba.
I would like to call on the governors. They are all transit matters. That's when it's playing here in Benin State. I'm urging of Governor Tano Otto to stop making orders for transit. Let them have a good image between him and local and governor. See the banditry that is happening in Benin State. Sometimes those bandits, they will attack, they will come from local state and attack and go back. Instead of him to have a good image as a governor, he come out and be making an all transit. And those bandits, they will come back and attack again. Please, I'm watching up.
Thank you, Garba.
I don't know whether simply having a good relationship with the national governor can stop attacks.
No, definitely not. What, like you said, what can do it is for them to come together and pool resources.
The problem that states have is that they are not in charge of policing or the army
or anything. Yes.
So that's the problem that most governors have.
Chief security officer on paper.
A name, yes. They cannot order deployment, for example.
Yes.
An Aero-5, for example, if he was in charge of the military in the state, the police in the state, you can be sure of some actions that he will take. You can be sure of some actions that he will take, but
instead of using that money to pay ransom,
these guys,
deploy it into.
You have to give states credit. They are the ones who, right from when Asiwaju was governor here in Lagos, they've been financing the police. They've been providing for the police.
Even the military.
And the military as well.
All the Mesa vehicles you see here, they are from the state government.
But they don't have control over the army. You are limited to an extent. A governor can just, when they say, oh, they are collecting security vote, are they the ones to take the decision about deployment? For example, now, we should have launched a full-scale war against these people. The governors cannot declare a full-scale war.
They can't.
And they are watching their people being killed, and you don't want them to complain. How can somebody be governor, he sees his people being killed,
yes,
and you don't want him to get angry? Of course he will get angry.
You don't want Governor Tom to talk.
He will talk, he has to talk.
There's no how he will see his people and will not talk.
Did the governor of Niger not talk? Did he not talk?
He was so annoyed, you will know.
The governor of Niger was saying it that he went to Abuja to complain. We've been saying it, nothing has been done. Is that not the same thing? Is it not the same thing as Tom complaining? And they say PC. So this is the thing. Governors, when they are pushed to the wall and they are watching their people die, didn't Arakuni Akedolu complain? He complained now.
Fact.
When he got so bad, he got angry.
You can't even hold him back. You can't hold Arakuni back.
So that is the thing. The suggestion that if he comes together with the Nasarawa governor, they can stop it is a lie. Even the Nasarawa governor, they are killing people in his own in the state. Check the record. They are killing people in Nasarawa. They are killing people, burning down entire villages.
It's just not share with Abuja.
They are not saying Boko Haram is in Nasarawa state. The governor came out to tell us. He told the media that Boko Haram is in Nasarawa state. So this is the problem that they face. We need a very direct and very, very aggressive approach to deal with these guys.
And just, Mr. President is still not talking.
Yeah, well, we have been told this is style. Today he still met with the service chiefs.
Okay.
And maybe we'll keep hoping that he's talking to them and not to Nigerians directly.
But Nigerians voted him.
Yes, but we were told that is his style.
That's his style. He doesn't talk.
He doesn't talk. What we want actions like this.
Yes.
When we see these actions, we don't need him to talk.
Honestly, I'm not interested in him talking.
Actions like
if I can see his action, honestly, I will be happy. What am I going to do?
You don't see any. You don't see him talk. You don't see action.
That is, we are not seeing action. That is the big problem.
Yes.
Look, if a man will simply button up his mouth and allow his work to do the talking.
Exactly.
That's enough for me.
Okay.
That's enough. What we should be saying is that we are not seeing action, not that the president is not talking.
Yeah.
You know that it's not given to talking. And it's not an orator. He has never been one. He's not Fashola, for example. You know, neither is he.
Even the caller this evening, you had the first caller, Wale, you had this. Is the excitement in his voice.
If we can see all things like this happening, all over, people's spirits will be lifted.
Wale from
yes,
excited.
That's what we want to see. We are not interested in him talking.
That's what we want to
show us action.
You could see that at some point. All we were saying, we have Boko Haram videos showing when they take over villages. They will show you where they left from, how they marched, and all the rest. Unhindered
for hours.
But now we also need to see from our own side, because all of this issue of banditry, Boko Haram is about propaganda and publicity.
All right.
A lot of people have been saying the media has not been fair, but there is nothing you can do when it comes to news.
They don't want the media to say the truth.
Exactly. If you don't report it
they don't want the
from
media.
Within Nigeria,
they want Boko Haram to dislodge the army and for people to not talk about it, to pretend that it didn't happen. Is that how we are going to solve the problem?
Or that what happened in one of the states today, where the soldiers were complaining that they were thrown into the open space, where there were snakes and the rest, to go and sleep. They don't want it in the media. How do you run with that? People were staying in an open space, but roofed and with walls. You ask them to move outside where there were dangerous snakes. You don't want the media to talk about that.
Media must talk.
For your contribution.
It's our job to talk.
And Bikio, thank you for your contribution as always. And we want to congratulate our Muslim brothers, hopefully by tomorrow or Thursday. Yes,
their mouths will now be.
Yes, the end of Ramadan.
Their mouths will hang slack now from tomorrow.
Yes.
But no clubbing for them.
No clubbing yet.
No
for
party.
Anybody. No party.
I hope they will listen.
I hope they will. 19. And that's our offering today. Join us tomorrow for another episode of the program. And don't forget to join Journalist Hangout on Sunday from 1:30 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. Journalist Hangout on Sunday, 1:30 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. Well, youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. I'm Ayodele Zubaku. Bye for now, and God bless Nigeria.